I'm Richard Goodall, 54 years old, from Terre Haute, Indiana. Born in Indiana, raised in Indiana. I've lived in Indiana all my life, so I'm a Hoosier.
Richard Goodall's journey on America's Got Talent is nothing short of extraordinary. What began as a humble performance in a middle school soon turned into one of the most inspirational stories ever seen on the AGT stage. But behind his golden moment of confetti lies a deeper, untold story. There were difficulties, times of uncertainty, and even some secrets about the show no one had ever revealed. Richard shares in this exclusive the tremendous pressure he experienced, the highs and lows of his path, and the parts of his story the globe has not seen. Though Richard belted out "Don't Stop Believin" and captivated the entire world, there is more to his ascent than just that viral video. Indiana's school janitor Richard found himself in the limelight, but not before surmounting some major challenges. Richard was simply Mr. Richard to his school's students prior to his AGT notoriety. He had no idea a viral TikTok post would permanently alter his life. It all began with a simple request from his school to sing for the students. The song choice, "Don't Stop Believin'." Little did he know, a teaching assistant in the audience filmed his performance and shared it online, sparking the beginning of his wild journey. What started as a simple video soon exploded on TikTok. When Richard received the news, he found it unbelievable. By the end of the weekend, it had already hit 1 million views, he recalled. Journey's own Steve Perry noticed soon after, and even posted the video on his social media. Things began to change at that point. Suddenly, celebrities were sharing Richard's performance. One day, out of the blue, he got a call from America's Got Talent creators. Richard had tried for AGT back in 2009, but he was not selected past the first round. This time, though, would be different. He never realized that this call would bring him one of the most important turning points in his life. But he had to confront a fear he never expected before he could walk onto stage, flying.
To do what she did, never. No, not even remotely.
Flying to California for the AGT audition was a big leap, literally, since Richard had never flown before. "I have never flown, never even considered traveling west," Richard said. Still, he knew this was his chance, even though he was anxious. He was no longer just a janitor when he took the AGT stage. Presented before Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, and a global audience, was an artist. Next was nothing less than magical. The room changed in energy when Richard began singing. The judges, the audience, everyone was drawn into his voice. Heidi Klum moved quickly without thinking. With a shower of golden confetti, she slammed the golden buzzer and sent Richard into AGT history. Richard could hardly make sense of that. "It's like time stood still," he said. Richard stayed grounded despite his newly discovered popularity. "People come up to me all the time," he said, "but I'm still the same guy. I presently work as a janitor. Fame hasn't changed me."
In a middle school, and dreams can come true for anybody. And how exciting it is to get to see it from the ground up and know that this is going to be a person that's going to be around for a long time. And you can say, "I knew that guy when he was a janitor." It's awesome. I just love it.
He was a janitor in a middle school, and dreams can come true for anybody. And how exciting it is to get to see it from the ground up and know that this is going to be a person that's going to be around for a long time. And you can say, "I knew that guy when he was a janitor." It's awesome. I just love it. But Richard's narrative started rather than ended with the golden buzzer. Richard stayed concentrated on doing what he loved most, singing, while offers and possibilities came in. He has been invited to perform at neighborhood venues, work with musicians like Tommy DiCarlo, and even do a journey homage with Rudy Cardenas. Though he never considered any of this feasible, here he was living a dream. Then, a surprise derived from nobody other than Walker Hayes, a country music sensation. Richard received a brand new car in addition to an invitation to one of his concerts, if that wasn't sufficient. "A Buick Encore," Richard said with a laugh. "I still can't believe it." As surreal as his journey has been, Richard has no plans to slow down. While he's incredibly grateful for the gifts and opportunities, including the praise from Journey's Neil Schon, Richard isn't ready to retire. If he wins the $1 million prize, he's thought about buying a mobile home in Florida, but he'd still want to keep performing. "Why stop now?" he asks. And Richard's next performance on AGT looms. He knows the pressure is mounting. "The first performance was tough to top," he admits, "but all I can do is give it my best and let the chips fall where they may." Having his fiancée Angie by his side this time makes all the difference. "The first time I performed, she couldn't afford to come with me. Now she's here and it feels right," Richard said with a smile. With Angie's support, Richard feels more grounded and ready to face whatever the next round throws at him. Richard's path on America's Got Talent has created doors he never would have dreamed of. Richard stays modest as offers for partnerships and events keep coming in. He knows that his love of music and his relationship with people will eventually propel him forward. Richard's heart is still in Terre Haute, where he keeps working as a janitor in the same institution that saw the first notes of his now viral performance, even with the gloss and splendor of Hollywood. Though for Richard it hasn't changed his core, the fame might have raised his profile. "I'm still the same guy. I still go to work, still help out at school and sing when I can. I haven't forgotten where I come from," Richard says with a smile. Once used to seeing him clean the hallways, his students now look up to him as an inspiration, someone who proved dreams could come true anywhere you start. Though Richard stays anchored in his roots, grateful for every chance, and never takes any of it for granted, the focus is fresh. Richard understands the difficulties would increase as the AGT competition advances. There is a lot of pressure, so every performance could make all the difference between going home and forward. For Richard, however, the objective is always the same. He wants to keep true to himself and offer his best. "I've never been in it for the fame," Richard explains. "It's about the music and what it means to people. That's what matters to me." Richard keeps connecting with audiences all around with his humility and strong voice at every performance. Win or lose, he understands he has already had a significant influence on everyone who has been motivated by his narrative, not only on AGT. The excitement grows for the millions of viewers who have followed Richard's path as well as for him as he approaches his next round. His narrative reminds some people that when you mix talent, diligence and a bit of luck, anything is possible. For others, it's evidence that regardless of starting point or length of time, it's never too late to follow your dreams. From his Indiana local community to supporters all around, Richard still appreciates the help he has gotten along the road. Although the flood of love and support has been intense, it has also helped Richard stay focused. "I'm just trying to take it all in," he says. "It's a lot to process, but I'm thankful for every bit of it." Richard has also found great strength from his fiancée, Angie, who has been at his side through it all. It has made all the difference to have her in California with him for the second show. Richard says, "She's my rock," admitting, "Having her here with me makes everything feel more real, more grounded. It's been a whirlwind, but she keeps me centered." The nerves exist as Richard takes the stage once more, but so does the confidence that results from knowing he has already overcome the odds. Whatever comes next, he is prepared to greet it with humility and grace, qualities that have defined his path from the beginning. The AGT experience for Richard is more than just a chance to headline in Las Vegas or compete for the $1 million prize. It's about convincing others as well as yourself that following your passion is never too late. For anyone who has ever questioned their capacity to accomplish something remarkable, his narrative, one of tenacity, humility, and natural ability, is a lighthouse of hope. Richard stays in the here and now even as concert and performance offers abound. He is resolved to remain present, to enjoy every moment on the AGT stage, and to keep emotionally engaging viewers. "If I can make someone smile, if I can lift someone's spirits with my voice, then that's all I could ever ask for," he says. Though in his heart, he knows that music is music. Whether it's performed in front of millions or just a few dozen students, the AGT stage may be far from the school hallways where Richard used to sing. Knowing that he will always be singing, motivating, and sharing his love of music with the world wherever this road takes him, keeps him going. Richard keeps pushing himself, exploring new depths of his ability, and grabbing every chance that presents itself as the competition gets fierce. "I've already won just by being here," he says. "Everything else is just icing on the cake." Richard Goodall's future seems bright. Whether Richard brings home the grand prize or not, one thing is for sure. Richard has made his mark on the world not only as a competitor on America's Got Talent, but also as a symbol of hope and tenacity. His path reminds us all that it's never too late to pursue our aspirations, and that the influence you have on others along the road determines success more so than fame or wealth. Richard is considering what follows AGT even as he gets ready for the next round. "I'd love to keep performing," he says. "Maybe do some local concerts, maybe even tour a bit. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm excited to find out." Millions of people all around the world have already been permanently changed by Richard's narrative, voice, and relentless spirit. His message is still clear as he keeps following his aspirations. Never stop believing in yourself, anywhere life leads you. The trip is far from finished for Richard Goodall, the janitor turned singing sensation, and when we see his next show on America's Got Talent, we know that his narrative will inspire for years to come regardless of what transpires.